So ever since that Monster Hunter trailer dropped, it had me thinking, God damn, does this look like a shitty movie? But you never know. I might enjoy it. Who knows? The monsters look good. Mila Jovovich is always fun. So maybe it'll be an actually good movie. Or maybe it'll be a big pile of shit.
That is one big pile of shit.
Either way, we'll find out in December. But it made me think, what are my favorite video game movies? Why do I like them? I figured I'd throw together a fun little list of 5 of my favorite video game films, so let's get into it. Now just before I start, one more thing, these are in no particular order, just 1 to 5 just for numbers' sake, and I'm not saying that these movies are by any means good movies. They're just movies that I have a fondness for due to nostalgia or whatever. But anyway, now let's really get into it. We're starting this list off strong with Detective Pikachu. This may not be a super big shock to a lot of people because a lot of people really liked Detective Pikachu. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I liked Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu, even though they really missed out on their opportunity to have the one and only legend Danny DeVito voice Pikachu, and it really disappoints the hell out of me that they didn't get him. Imagine Pikachu walking around talking like this.
Whoa, whoops, oh! I dropped my monster condom that I used for my Magnum Dong.
I'm out of here.
Why would you want to miss that opportunity? It doesn't make any sense. But you know what? Whatever. Ryan Reynolds, he's great. I love him as Deadpool and all that stuff, so he was a fun Pikachu. The story was fun. The Pokemon looked good. It was fun seeing all these realistic CG Pokemon. And the story was generally enjoyable, and I did like the characters. So yeah, it was a good movie. Definitely not by any means perfect, but it was probably one of the better video game films that are out there. I know that Detective Pikachu is already a game itself, but I like this idea of taking a game world, like Pokemon for example, and then making these kind of original stories within that world. I think I would like to see more video game films like that, where they take the source material, but they don't necessarily make a carbon copy of the story in a film. They just take that world and kind of make their own story and run with it. I just think that's a really fun idea, and it's something that I would like to see explored more with video game films. But I definitely thought Detective Pikachu was good. It could have been better, but again, still pretty good. Even though I'm still really pissed off about the lack of Danny DeVito. Seriously, maybe you didn't make him Pikachu, but you could have made him another Pokemon. Imagine Chansey talking like Danny DeVito.
Can I offer you a nice egg in this trying time?
Yeah, he's got an egg, you
That's just pure absolute magic. I don't understand why they didn't do that. But anyway, one of my favorite video game films. Moving on. Oh boy, here we go. You know you're not going to be disappointed when they make a PG-13 movie about an M-rated game where they're ripping each other's spines out, blowing each other up with kisses, and punching each other in the balls. That's right. Mortal Kombat from 1995 is one of my favorite video game movies. I love it. Even though you look at it nowadays and it looks like a bunch of assholes running around with Spirit of Halloween costumes on fighting each other, but still, it was a great movie. Back when I saw this movie in 95 when I was a kid, it blew my mind. I could not believe that I was watching something so awesome. Is it a perfect movie? No, the acting's absolutely terrible. Scorpion has a f***ing bird coming out of his hand for some reason. Raiden only wears the rice hat for like 5 seconds, which pisses me off. Goro never not looked like a giant doll. And CG dinosaur reptile looks like he came out of the cartoon Beast Wars. But besides that, what a movie. Fight scenes are fun, the lore is actually pretty damn accurate to the video games, and of course, who can forget that absolute bop of a theme song? Rampage came out in 2018, and it wasn't too bad. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. I really love the Rampage games. I think they're really fun. I mean, I love giant monster movies, I love Godzilla, and all that stuff, so Rampage was always a game that was right up my alley, climbing up buildings, eating people. So when they announced that they were making a movie for it, I was excited, but of course leery because video game movies, right? But it wasn't too bad, it was alright. I mean, The Rock is in there, he's pretty cool, and the big CG monsters in there looked good. Actually, speaking of The Rock and big CG monsters, the monsters in Rampage looked way better than The Rock looked in The Mummy 2. They had some nice little callbacks to the games. The villains were just so over-the-top cartoony They may as well have both had these big, giant, twisty fucking mustaches. It was a goofy movie, but at the same time, you know, I went there for the monster battles. That's what I went for. I went to see giant monsters fight. That's what I got. It had so many throwaway characters that were literally there for 5 seconds. Remember Joe Magnello and his goon squad that get absolutely destroyed within the first, like, half an hour of the film? Again, it wasn't a great movie, but you could tell a lot of the actors were having a fun time, and it was just generally goofy. But the Rampage games are goofy too, so it is what it is. Either way, like I said, I got my giant monster battles. I got to see a parallel universe where Negan works for the US government. And I got to watch Dwayne Makes the Lady Sweat The Rock Johnson run around and chase giant CG monsters for 2 hours. So overall, it wasn't a bad experience. Now this one I feel like is going to be a bit controversial. But I absolutely loved the Warcraft movie. Yep, I did. And this is coming from somebody who absolutely wasted his life playing World of Warcraft for literally a decade. I played WoW since vanilla, and I played it all the way up until Legion, and then I stopped. And I won't go back because you can't make me go back. I'll never get back into it again because it ate up my life, and I've turned away from that now. I've been clean for years. It was a good movie, okay? I know it wasn't perfect. Like all these movies on this list, you know, the acting was kind of meh, except for the orcs. The orcs were better actors than the people acting in the movie, which, whatever, you know. The effects looked good, the world was great, and the lore was pretty goddamn close to being pretty accurate. It really was probably one of the best iterations of the Warcraft story that we're going to get on film, probably ever. Unfortunately, well, America didn't like it too much. China loved it though, but we didn't. And so, I don't think we're ever going to see a sequel, which is really unfortunate, because man, would I love to see the story of Thrall or Arthas on the big screen, but they're not going to give me that shit, because, you know, critics didn't understand it. The movie's just too difficult for people to get. I guess CG fantasy worlds are just too much for some people. Maybe if Warcraft had bigger, bluer orcs reenacting the story of Pocahontas, maybe it would have went over better with critics. But, you know, it is what it is. Finally, we come to the number one, the last movie on my list, and probably what is actually my favorite video game movie, the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Where do I begin with this absolute cinematic masterpiece? Somebody seriously sat down in a room and had a meeting and said, yeah, you know that game with the plumbers? It's cute, the little mushrooms, the little turtles, having a good time in this bright world. It's real colorful, the kids love it. What if we took that idea, threw that shit out the window, and turned it into fucking Blade Runner? Yes, that's it. If you ever wanted to see what the Super Mario world could look like, filled with prostitutes, drugs, and Dennis Hopper, boy, is this the movie for you. And let me tell you what, the Super Mario movie is a movie that ages like fine wine. As time goes by, it just gets better and better and better. We're currently living in an age where gritty reboots are kind of the thing right now. Everybody loves a good gritty reboot. The Mario Brothers movie was ahead of its time. It's literally a gritty reboot of the Mario Brothers. If the movie came out today, it would probably be acceptable, because people would look at this shit and they would be like, wow, I can't believe they made a gritty reboot of the Super Mario Brothers. What a phenomenal film. Seriously though, Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo have this chemistry on camera. I think they're great together. They are absolutely the version of the Mario Brothers that I picture would be the actual Mario Brothers. These guys are great. And there's enough references to the games in there for it to be recognizable, while at the same time, it's completely original. It's definitely one of those movies where when it came out, people were like, what the f*** did they do to the Mario Brothers? But nowadays, I just feel like it's so unique. It's not a good movie. This is not a good movie by any means. It's a terrible movie. But it's one of those movies where it's so bad it's good. Dennis Hopper hams that shit up as King Koopa. Of course, he wasn't Bowser back then. This is back when he was still called King Koopa. So, yeah, Dennis Hopper is just the man in this movie. I've watched a lot of the documentaries and read a lot of the stuff about the behind the scenes stuff about this movie, and that absolutely none of the actors wanted to be there. They all fucking hated it, and they all hated the directors. And you could tell nobody wants to be in this movie, but that doesn't make it any less enjoyable to watch. It's bonkers. I mean, they even gave me Yoshi. Yoshi's in there. He's a little green raptor, little green raptor guy, and it's friggin' great, okay? They definitely took the idea of the Mario Brothers and turned it on its head, putting them in a dystopian future type setting where the world is ruled by dinosaurs who evolved into humanoids. It's definitely an interesting concept, and again, it just takes a really unique spin on the Mario Brothers. And I just think it's one of those movies where it's charming. Like I said, there's definitely references to the games in there. It's so bad it's good, and I know a lot of people love hating on this movie, but honestly, I have such a fondness for it. I loved it when I was a kid, and I still enjoy it today. Plus, let us not forget that Miyamoto accepted something from this movie as officially canon to the Mario universe. As in the movie, Mario claims that his last name is Mario. So his name is Mario Mario, and Luigi's name is Luigi Mario.
Mario.
Last name?
Mario.
Okay, what's your name?
Luigi.
Luigi?
No, Luigi Mario.
Okay, look, how many Marios are there between the two of you?
There's three. It's Mario and Luigi Mario.
Miyamoto himself accepted this and officially said that they were the Mario Brothers because Mario's last name was Mario. And even if he recanted that statement, I don't give a shit because he's still Mario Mario. But yeah, that's it. That's my list of 5 of my favorite video game films. Before I end this video, I will say, yes, Sonic is not on this list, and the only reason for that is because I actually have yet to see that movie. I'm sorry. I haven't watched the movie yet. I really do intend to. A lot of people say it's really good, so I'm definitely going to give it a watch. That's the only reason why it's not here. So before people get in the comments and start going insane because I didn't mention the Sonic movie, which is pretty much unanimously considered the best video game movie they ever made, I do intend to watch it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So forgive me. That being said, this was my list of my 5 favorite video game movies. I hope you enjoyed it. Do you like these movies? Maybe you hate them all. Why don't you let me know down in the comments below. If you really like this video, feel free to give it a like, share it if you want, and if you really like this video, feel free to subscribe. I put out gaming videos every single week. I try to at least. Or in this case, a movie video about video games. I mean, it's about video games, so I figured why the hell not. This is definitely a different kind of video for me. I don't usually do top 5s or top 10s or any of that kind of crap. But I figured I would do something different. And like I said, the Monster Hunter movie trailer really did inspire me to think about video game films and what I like about them or don't like about them. If you guys like this kind of video, let me know down in the comments, and maybe I'll do more videos like this. Maybe I'll talk about more video game movies, or maybe even make videos focused on one particular movie. Like I said, let me know if you really enjoy it. Either way, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, thanks for subscribing, and of course, stay safe out there and have a great day. Thank you, and bye-bye.